Craftable weapons in Bannerlord are not only good for selling, but also some of the highest damage weapons in the game. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to make them. So, let's start off with Fenrir's Tooth, the sharpest dagger in calradia. With a swing speed of 106 and a swing cut damage of 55, this thing can tear your opponent to shreds in seconds. The blade is the Khanjar blade at full length. The guard is the Southern Star Guard at the least length. The handle is the half-wrapped, steel reinforced bastard sword grip at full length. And finally, the pommel is the Fiend's pommel at full length. So, let's see how this thing fares against some looters. I would definitely recommend using a shield with this weapon, especially when outnumbered like this. But just look at this thing shred through their flesh. What a sight. And of course, if we didn't get outnumbered, we could have actually won. Moving on to the next weapon, the Missile Javelin. This bad boy has a pierce damage of 141 and flies through the air at a speed of 27. The blade is the thin fine steel hewing spearhead at full length. The guard is the riveted spearhead reinforcement at full length. The handle is the mahogany javelin shaft at full length. And finally, the pommel is the spiked round spear pommel, also at full length. Let's see how these do against the looters. So my throwing skill isn't great, it's actually level 1, so I'm not expecting much here, but a headshot is an insta-kill, which is great. I'm sure that one was to the body with 161 damage, and now I'm out of javelin, but all in all, really not bad. The next weapon I like to call Mace Windu. With a swing speed of 85 and swing blunt damage of 70, this thing will collect prisoners like the government collecting tax. The blade is the Cataphract's mace head at 26% length. The handle is the Steel Horseman's mace handle at 2% length. And the pommel is the Fiend's pommel at 0% length. Looter time. A little bonk to the head for some 87 damage to start us off. And a swing for 66 damage to catch him in my Pokeball. 88 damage to the arm, they're definitely a broken elbow. And we just keep swinging, and everybody's asked to sell. Mace Windu is definitely one to consider. Next up, we have Woodchuck. This fine little axe has a swing speed of 82 and a cut damage of 82. The blade is the Southern Battle Axe at a length of 0%. The handle is the oaken handle with pointy end at 45% length. And the pommel is the fan pommel at 0% length. Let's chop some wood, and by wood I mean looters. Oh, it's a chopping. This thing can easily break shields too, which is one of the big bonuses of using an axe. And now we're being swarmed and yep, it's all over. Still, a decent bit of damage was done. Next weapon is the Sword to the Shield. This beast goes so well with a shield and has a swing speed of 80 and a cut damage of 103. The blade is the engraved back sword blade at 80% length. The guard is the etched Highland guard at 50% length. The handle is the half leather covered wire bound two-handed grip at 0% length. And the pommel is the Fiend's pommel at 0% length. Avengers, assemble! Feels a bit slow, but I think it'll definitely make up for it in power. One it kills for days, definitely does decent damage and also allows for defense with the shield equipped too. A great choice for a sword and shield character. Next up, we have the backup. These throwing axes have a missile damage of 80 and a missile speed of 27. The blade is the throwing axe head at 100% length, and the handle is the hardened oaken throwing axe handle at 100% length. We also have the Assassin's Kiss throwing knives. With 41 damage and 31 for speed, these will kiss your enemies to death silently. The blade is the long broad dagger blade at 100% length. The guard is the knobbed diamond dagger guard at 100% length. The handle is the half-wrapped steel reinforced bastard sword grip at 100% length. And the pommel is the tall eastern pommel at 100% length. Let's see how both of these work against 10 looters. But do remember, my throwing skill is 1. Alright, axes are up first. Missed, but then redeemed myself with an arm shot for 81 damage. Missed again, but the rock definitely connected. Let's switch to the throwing knives. 70 damage to the head, that would definitely been a kill if I had more throwing skill. 31 damage to the chest, and I'm fucked. But another 94 to the head before I go out in a blaze of glory. Both weapons are definitely decent and are worth to have as a backup. Moving on, we have the Great Dane. This massive two-handed axe has a swing speed of 84 and a massive cut damage of 133. The blade is a large northern broadhead with decorated neck at 0% length. The handle is the heavily reinforced oaken great axe handle at 0% length, and the pommel is the turquoise pommel at 80% length. Let's see how many heads we can decapitate. The great thing about a two-handed axe is that it can hit multiple enemies at the same time. All we have to do is just keep swinging and it's basically free kills. Definitely a go-to weapon for any two-handed character. Next up we have the Home Run. This beast of a mace has a swing speed of 80 and a blunt damage of 83. The blade is a heavy long fling mace head at 0% length. The handle is the pine spear staff at 0% length, and the pommel is the ornamental pommel at 50% length. Let's see how many home runs we can hit. The swing speed is actually decent for a mace, they are normally really slow. This actually hits multiple enemies too, which is nice. 1 prisoner taken, 2 prisoners taken, and we're fucked. Definitely a decent two-handed weapon if you want to get as many prisoners as possible. Moving on, we have the Butcher. This two-handed polearm will slice through any meat and even any bone with a swing speed of 74 and a huge cut damage of 188. The blade is the sword staff head at 0% length. The guard is the tasseled double hook wings at 100% length. The handle is the hardened ash shaft at 0% length, and the pommel is the Famaskeen steel riveted spear pommel at 100% length. Time to make some steak. So it doesn't have the fastest swing speed, but definitely makes up for it with a 1-hit kill. It just kills anything it touches. Definitely a great weapon for any situation. Next up we have the Crusader. This two-handed sword has a swing speed of 91 with a cut damage of 127. The blade is the ridged arming sword blade at 100% length. The guard is the etched Highland guard at 0% length. The handle is the long bound grip at 30% length, and the pommel is the Fiend's pommel at 40% length. Let's see how it works against the looters. Two-handed swords are actually the most viable in any situations. They're easy to use and do some big damage. Like, I'm just cutting them all down with ease. And for the last one, we'll give him a 1 to his noggin. With average damage of over 100, it's the perfect weapon. Now, on some bonus weapons that I think are worth crafting. First up, the King of Persia. This two-handed sword has a swing speed of 92 and a cut damage of 152. The blade is the long Flauk's blade at 75% length. The guard is the cusped southern guard at 0% length. The handle is the long bound grip at 50% length, and the pommel is the Fiend's pommel at 0% length. This weapon is so fun to use, and the benefit of this blade is that it can destroy shields with ease. So if you don't want to use the axe but want to smash through those pesky shields, then choose this sword instead. Just look how easily it chops through the looters. Next up, we have the Prince of Persia. This is the son to the last one, with it being a one-handed sword, but the idea stays the same. With a swing speed of 85 and a cut damage of 95, it doesn't fall too far behind its father. The blade is the long Falk's blade at 45% length. The guard is the cusped southern guard at 50% length. The handle is the beautiful bronze two-handed grip with silver spiral at 0% length, and the pommel is the Fiend's pommel at 0% length. This weapon is there to use if you like using shields but you still want the power of smashing through them too. With decent damage at 85 to 95 per hit, you get both defense and offense at the same time. So, the perfect armory for me would be the following. The sword to the shield would be my go-to weapon with a decent shield in my offhand also. Then, for if I'm in a sticky situation, I'd use the Great Dane to cut down anyone in front of me. And lastly, I would take the missiles for when I need to switch some long-range damage. So, let's see how this build works in a 1 versus 10 fight. So I'm going to try and get some long-range kills with the missiles to thin the herd. I've also leveled up my throwing skill, so now you can see the difference. Absolute miss. But wait, Redeemed with a huge 659 damage to the chest. Absolute miss, nice. A hit to the shoulder for 536. Another shoulder hit for 576. Chest for 629. Another shoulder for 659. I think it's time to bring out the sword. 2 on 1, but it's fine. Hit to the chest for 93 damage, not bad. Shoulder hit for 88. One goes down. Second one is down now. It's time for the Great Dane. 2 enemies left. One huge swing takes one out. And another dirty swing to fell the last one. So, those are the weapons that I think are the best to craft. If you have any other weapons you would suggest crafting, then leave them in the comments. And don't forget to give that like and subscribe button a cheeky tickle, and I'll catch you in the next one.